And I got Kamala Harris coming down to Florida trying to create phony narratives because she understands Florida has stood up to the left's agenda. We have beat the left's agenda in the state of Florida, and so she thinks she can come down and lie about what we're doing in the state of Florida. I'm not budging an inch. We are going to fight back against these people, and we are not letting them take over our schools any longer. We are going to get this right as a nation.
That's Ron DeSantis upset with Kamala Harris for going down to Florida and criticizing their curriculum that wants to teach school kids that slavery taught skills to slaves. Okay, I guess I don't know if they learned to escape. I don't know what skills they learned, but he keeps going.
I mean, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. It's totally outrageous. You guys can look on the website of the Florida Department of Education. You know, they got a lot of scholars together to do a lot of standards and a lot of different things, but these are the most robust standards in African American history, probably anywhere in the country. Anyone who reads that will see that it's very thorough, very factual, and for them to try to demagogue it, look, that may have worked in the past. Nobody's buying their nonsense.
There he is, the governor with no charisma, saying that the curriculum has been approved by a bunch of educators, but it's not happening in a vacuum, by the way. This is happening in the same place where they didn't want to teach that slavery was bad because they said that white kids might feel bad about it. I don't think white kids would feel bad. I think that white kids would realize that their great-grandparents were a-holes. But that said, this guy has no charisma. He's got no likability. Watch him here with a kid.
Yeah, it's good to meet you, too. Oh, what is that? An icy? Yeah, that's probably a lot of sugar, huh? Good to see you. All right, 4-H, Wayne County.
Oh, boy. Well, that was a softball if there ever was one. The kid's got an icy. Should be like, oh, enjoy the icy. It's hot. Move on. You're on cameras. Don't lecture the kid about the sugar and the icy. It's not your kid. Just move on. The guy's got no charisma. He's got the charisma of a headboard. I mean, what the hell, dude? And the problem is, he's losing to this guy.
His record on agriculture is terrible because he is totally owned by the globalist donors who would like nothing more than to outsource every American farming job to a foreign nation. And he is totally in the pocket of China.
And he is totally in the pocket of China. I mean, the guy's entertaining. I got to give him that. The way he says China, it's just entertaining. Here's the problem. The problem is that there's no good candidates on the Republican side. There really aren't. People might argue, well, you know, Biden's old. All right, fine, but he's getting some stuff done. You know, inflation's starting to come down. Jobs are getting higher. Some good things are happening. How about the infrastructure bill? We got some things going on over here. Over here, the choices are horrible. You got either the guy who calls it China, who's triple indicted, going to be quadruple indicted. He's just a disaster. He's a narcissist. He's a criminal. You either got a mafia boss or you got DeSantis, who has zero charisma, and his record is horrible. Florida's record of intolerance is getting worse and worse and worse. Again, you can't take what they said about slavery recently, what they want to teach about slavery, where they're saying that slaves actually learned skills in slavery. Now, people are arguing, they're saying, well, yes, slavery was very bad, but those slaves learned certain skills that then took them to other places in their lives, which is a bunch of crap, by the way. But even if you were to say, all right, fine, okay, fine, the slaves had to work and maybe learn some skill. I don't know what that skill is. You can't take this out of it's not in a vacuum. This is the same state that did not want to teach about slavery, didn't want to talk about critical race theory, doesn't want to. They say the say no don't say gay bill. Like, it's a very intolerant state under Ron DeSantis. And let's go back to what they're doing now. The curriculum is saying that slaves actually gain some skills in slavery. This is just like a bunch of crap. This is trying to whitewash. You can't kidnap me and have me, build you something and then go, well, you learned something during the time when I kidnapped you and raped you and pillaged you and killed your family. At least you learned how to build a bicycle. Like, really? That's and then the Republican Party gets crazier and crazier. You got the guy on Fox, his name's Greg Gunfeld or something. He came out and he said, well, in the concentration camps during the World War II, the Jews, if you were useful, you got to survive. Bunch of crap. Then they came out and they said the internment camps, the Japanese internment camps, they learned skills. Nobody wants to learn skills where their family's being killed, and I'm learning how to make a quilt. Are you kidding me? You're going to teach that? Well, you better teach every other horrible thing that happened and say, oh, by the way, when Maz learned how to make a chair, he was at a point where he'd lost everyone in his family and he'd been tortured and he had scars on his back from the whips and he didn't want to make chairs. But at least he learned how to make a chair. It's the biggest bunch of crap, and it's whitewashing, and we can't let these people get away with this crap, all right? So do me a favor. Every video ends with me saying, vote, register to vote. Get your friends out, get your family out, get everybody out. Otherwise, you're going to end up with these Ron DeSantis types who are just out of their minds, who want to teach that slaves were learning skills because they want to whitewash what slavery was. Slavery was very, 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 very bad. And for you to say, oh, they learned a skill is just stupid. I'm Maz Jobrani. Watch my special on YouTube. It's called The Birds and the Bees. I'm a stand-up comedian. I usually make people laugh. But when I hear stupid stuff like this, I get a little worked up. What do you want from me? Slavery wasn't good. Can we agree to that? Hey, Florida, what's going on? Get rid of DeSantis.